Guess what? Guess what? Let me click out of this. Let me go to timeanddate.com. You know, I was looking at the 25th. I was doing the calculations for the new year. I like to try to go ahead and do the calendar before it even gets here. Um, the new year is coming up, and I don't know what other people's calendars are going to look like when the new year is going to be falling on, but I'm just going to tell you how I do my calendar, and the way I explain it. It might sound a bit dogmatic. I do offer wiggle room within reason. If it makes sense to me, I'm willing to convert, but otherwise, I just know how to do the calendar based off of biblical understanding. And so, just getting straight to it, the equinox, let's do this. Boom. Look at that, March 19th. That's when it's coming. Why do we need to know that? Well, based on spring, you want to know when spring coming. Mm-hmm. That's right. So, this is officially spring. Other people will say, "Oh, well, the month of a bee, uh, we do calculations based on these other moons." And I'm interested in the equinox and the equilux, okay? The equilux is even daytime, even on nighttime. Equinox is more of an approximation. And we're going to look at the approximation. March 19th, you say? All right, let's go down here. March March 19th. Let's do it. Is this approximately? It's close, but I would like to go with the equilux, if you will. Now, everybody don't go by the equilux. Some people do though, and they refer to this as the true equinox, but this really is the equilux. So let's do it. 7:23 a.m. is when the sun is gonna rise, maybe, and it's gonna set 7:23. Now, I just refer to John chapter 11, verse 9, when it says, Yahushua answered, are there not day? If anyone walks in the day, he does not stumble because he sees the light of this world. Now, I go back to the light, right? In creation, when everything started, we have Genesis chapter, let's go to 3 right here. And Yah said, let there be light, and there was light. Verse 4, and Yah saw the light, that it was good. And Yah divided the light from the darkness. Okay? And with no sun going on. There was no sun. Now, yes, there's an argument to say that darkness was already here, okay, and that the Spirit of the Most High moved upon the face of the waters. However, the first thing that was created was light. So I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what else to say. And this light is powerful because it's banishing darkness. It's so much of mention. S- It's many times when it was like metaphorically speaking or symbolically speaking that Yah was referred to as light and that Hashatan was referred to as darkness. So, I mean, nighttime, there's no inherent evil with being in the darkness, okay, because we experience darkness all the time. We do know, though, at certain periods of life, most crimes do happen during the darkness because people want to do things in the dark. And, if it's not a crime in the physical, it's going to be a crime in the spirit. They want to hide their sins and do their dirt and make sure nobody finds out because it's about being hidden in the dark. If you shine light on it, whether it's covetousness, whatever it is, etc., people will be able to see clearly what you're experiencing. That's the reason why shame wants you to hide stuff. But I digress and just go back into verse 5 when it says, matter of fact, verse 4, and Yah saw the light that it was good, and Yah divided the light from the darkness. And then, right after that, then we have verse 5 that says, and Yah called the light day. Now we have a situation where we have to make determinations on what we're calling the 24-hour period. Now, we can decide to call it what the Bible called it, or we can call it something else, what regular people call the 24-hour period. Now, the whole day, we used to calling it that, and we say the day's not over until 11:59 p.m. But in verse 5 is saying the day is daytime, is light time, I should say, and the night is darkness time. And then there was evening, and the morning were the first day. Now it says in the evening and the morning. Now this is right here is the red, and it's really becoming evening, becoming morning, or again is saying becoming dusk, twilight, becoming dawn, twilight, or the first day, the first 24-hour period. Or is saying, and I'm open for this correction because, people have different interpretations, what I call interpolations. They interpret it, and then they have a translation inside of the interpretation. But this is what I'm getting. This is the first day, the first time there was a period of time that was separated. That was the first time there was light for 12 hours. Okay, just to make it simple. This was the first time this happened, this division of time. Then, and what's changed? Because if you look in creation, you don't see much change. So if you do see the division already, you do see the separation. You see dawn, which is also called twilight. And then you see daytime all the way until you see the sun setting, where you see evening time. What's going on with this? Has anything changed from verse 4 and verse 5? I'm curious. Has anything changed? Even with the curses being out here, even with the flood, even with um, some other anomalies happening, like Joshua and Moses, and no, I'm sorry, Joshua in the battle and the sun standing still type of thing. Even with things like that, has anything changed? Hmm? Has it? And if so, please let me know. And let me take a look at it so I can get a better understanding, because I'm not interested in being dogmatic or right. I'm interested in being righteous. And the approach is to make sure that these feast days are being governed and being kept on the appropriate days and times and seasons, so that we're not being in error. And verse 6, and Yah said, let there be a firmament, okay, in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And Yah made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And Yah called the firmament heaven, Shamayim, and the evening Areb, and the morning were the second Yom. And Yah said, let the waters under the Shamayim be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. And Yah called the dry land earth, Eretz, and the gathering together of the waters called he seas. And Yah saw that it was good. And going down here, becoming Ereb, becoming morning, or the third day, Yom. And Yah said, let there be lights in the firmament. Now, this is where it becomes something else. Shamayim, to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs, signs, and for seasons, seasons, and for days, days, and years, years. And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven, to give light upon the earth. And it was so. And Yah made two great lights, two great lights. You got a greater light to rule the day. Rule is the government, and the lesser light to rule the night. To govern is the government. He made the stars also. Let's look at this word rule. All right, Memshala, dominion, government is mentioned one time or used in that term 10 times dominion. 10 times. Let's look at this. Is dominion, domain, okay, dominion, government, power. Let's look at what is this saying? Okay, so this Haya come to pass, that's what I was looking at when it said in the earth or in the is Haya. Let me see if I can find what verse was this? Genesis chapter 1, verse 16. Okay. Genesis chapter 1, verse 16. Okay. 4475. Rule dominion realm. Memshala. Ruler. Anyway, the other point I was gonna say is that when you're looking at the full moon, you get to see the full moon ruling over the day. I'm sorry, the nighttime, and you see the sunlight ruling over the daytime. So the full moon was the first thing that was created, and it was created in its fullness, obviously, according to this. According to this, if it's going to rule over the night, it was created in its fullness. And that's my position. That's all. Just saying that it was in rulership and had dominion over the night. That's all. Made two great lights, and the greater light to rule the day. That's it. Okay. And it had dominion over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And Yah saw that it was good. In the twilight of evening and the twilight of morning, it became that way. And it was the fourth day. Okay, so after nighttime happened, that's when it happened. And then I also want to say that if you ever been hiking or you been camping or you been in the military or you just hung out and observed the sun and the moon, if you notice, it's ruling the whole nighttime, all the way from the time it first begins. Like, say for instance, you have astronomical twilight. You're gonna see the full moon already before twilight even finishes, and then you're gonna see when the sun is coming up. You're still gonna see the full moon because it's ruling the whole night. But you can't get that same effect when you have like a crescent moon or even a dark moon. You cannot get that same effect. It's just not that way. So that's my position on the full moon. Let's go to the equinox again. I'm going to say this is March the 16th. So let's go based on March the 16th. Even if we was to do March 19th, this still applies. And so let's go straight to the moon phases and go straight to the full moon. And then you'll see the first full moon after March the 16th is going to be March the 25th. And that's the reason why March the 25th is the new year. That very next day, that sunrise, right? That sunrise is going to be the first day of the new year. And that's it. And why is it the next day when the sun rises? That's when you call it daytime. Um, even in today's language, we call it nighttime. Is Oh, I'm gonna see you tomorrow in the day. Okay, so we know what we're talking about when we say stuff in today's language, but just to be clear and be specific is like saying, "Oh, today is daytime," and "Oh, do you want to hang out at night?" Or people need to know, like senior citizens, they want to know, "Oh, what time is it when I'm gonna be home?" Because I don't drive at night. I don't drive at night, or I don't go out at night, or I don't like to be out at night working. Okay, day is day and night is night. You don't have no lights on, you can't see. And this dark moon right here, you can't see anything. It's just the way it is. So when you're feasting and when you're doing things, if you have to build a fire, build an altar, build anything you can't see, you cannot see that. Even if you were to build torches and stuff like that, you will have to start building torches and all of that stuff in sunlight before the moon sets. I mean, before the sun sets, and you won't be able to see nothing if you were doing everything these festivals and all of that during the dark moon. You'll be in trouble. That's all my point is. But that's that. Thank you for taking time to listen to me rant about this because it's important to me and I just don't understand um, any other way. Again, I'm not trying to be dogmatic about it. It seems like there are plenty of good arguments about this, including explaining what yam is uh, as an argument with, let's see, let me look at that word yam as the day, which is not technically Let's look at the day. Hayam. I'm not gonna look at it like that. That's backwards to me. It's right here. H3117 Yom. And then you have daytime, year, time period, yesterday. So you looking at all of these definitions as defined by evening. It's a 24-hour period. I do get that. I do get that. But what about the other word, right? Because I mean, if you don't, I mean the other definition, because if you don't know how to use these words in context, then you're gonna be calling. Um, let's see, where is it? It says year. You're gonna be using yom as year. All of this is in the same sentence, right? So take for instance, um, it says for seasons, for days, it's gonna be yom. For years, it's gonna be yom. How do you know the difference, right? If it's in this one verse. I mean, from a contextual type of point of view or understanding, you're reading that verse and you like, if you were reading it in just straight Hebrew, how would you know if this is talking about two separate time frames? If you're reading the same word, yom, and for yom, it don't make no sense, right? So I can understand reiterations, but in English, there would be no understanding of the truth of what it is talking about if we only viewed it as day or 24-hour period and as such. So that's what I'm saying. It's just being able to break this down to make it plain where you can say, okay, well, Yom is talking about day. And let me look at this in Bible Hub, by the way. Let me go back to where is this? I'm trying to see how I can type this in. If I could only figure out how to do this, this would be way easier. Can I type this in? Please tell me there is an easy way to do this. Okay. There it is. All right, so it says plain, boom, day. We have the same day right here, Genesis chapter 5, Genesis chapter verse 8, verse 13. It's not referring to verse 14. Okay, verse 16, verse 18. You get my drift. It's not talking about years. It's talking about days only. And then when you say there was morning, now this is my position as well. I was about to close out, but let me just say this too. Now you got four parts. Now I know I said this earlier, but I mean for real, you got four parts. You got moon time, then the sun rises, then you have astronomical twilight. Now let me show this. Uh, I had okay. So you see astronomical twilight, you see nautical twilight, then you see civil twilight. You see that? You see nighttime, you say daylight. All of this is broken up in categories. It's like five parts to a 24-hour period, which people call a day, but really daytime is light time. And going back to uh, this verse, are there not 12 hours in a day? Right there. And then also going back to what's clear to me in Genesis chapter 1, it's just clear to me that this light was separated from darkness, and that it was called, this light was called day. It was called Yom. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say because this light is not lasting all day long with the sun. It's just not. This daytime is not lasting all day long for 24 hours. So, what do y'all think? You please let me know. Please tell me something. What do you think about this? The first, uh, Happy New Year, according to my position and based on my previous teachings, is it's looking like it's March the 25th, and then we'll count the Passover, and you'll be able to count the Passover after that. And the Passover, I govern those by the full moon as well. Why not? Because everything is in dominion. The moon has dominion, not the full moon in that. The full moon, not the crescent moon, not the dark moon. It has dominion. Why? Because it is the lesser light to rule the night. All right, y'all. Blessings and peace. And Father, I just thank you because, we as a people, we are to love our neighbor as ourselves. And a part of this love is being patient with each other, being kind to each other. When one person has information, that when we're telling each other the information, that is said in love and is said with compassion and with kindness and gentleness, and that when we have to receive something that may be right or wrong, that we know how to communicate, and we've ushered in a style of being able to um, give each other correction or direction with compassion and with a certain amount of self control, to not be so brash and harsh, but to be able to tell each other and to be able to receive from each other, because we are our brother's keeper. And I'm asking that you help us to make sure that our tongue is bridled and our heart is open to receive from you. And that if it's you, that will definitely be convicted, and that if it's you, that will definitely be converted. And I just bless you and I honor you, Father, for your patience towards us, because all we want to do is just be righteous before you, and that we weigh everything on the scales. Hallelujah.